I know you like them card tricks. I know you like them card tricks. Here's a card trick. Call stop. Call stop. Right there. Great. Good eye. You called stop on the 3 of clubs. We're going to lose this card somewhere in the middle of the deck, never to be seen ever again. As a matter of fact, before I find your card, I need to warm up. How do I warm up? Well, with the queens. With the queens, right? The hot and heavy queens is how I warm up. And you might be asking, how am I going to warm up with the queens? Well, I'm going to make them vanish one at a time. As a matter of fact, the first one goes just like this. You see that? So now I just have three queens. That's kind of odd, don't you think? Right? We started with 4 and now we're left with 3. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to make this one vanish like this. You see that? Saw that one vanish? Now we're left with 2, and then there were 2, like the book. Right? This next one is going to vanish with a little bit of a rub. See, a little bit of a rub, and it completely disappears. I know what you might be thinking. How about the last one? Well, the last one goes with a pass. You get it? Haha, pun. It's a pun. But I'll tell you what, if we just shake the deck, look what happens. The queens come back. That's right, all of them. Oh, wait a second. All of them come back apart from one of them. It's the spade, the heart, the diamond. The club is the missing one. Was your card a club? Of course, the participant's going to say yeah. And you go, well, was your card the 3 of clubs? Ha ha. Ha ha ha. Fun trick, kind of complex, a little bit complicated, but it's fairly simple if you know a couple color changes. So first things first is you're going to have the queens on top of the deck, and you're going to get a pinky break below them, just like this. Now, a good utilitarian way of preserving that while having the spectator select the card is that you're going to riffle down while still keeping that break. You see that? So now I'm going to keep that break. I'm going to have the participants call stop, and I'm going to pull that card out and show it to them. Now here, you're more than welcome to read the marking on the back of the card if this is a marked card, because you are going to have to peek at it. If not, you do a nice little peek, a subtle peek, just to peek at what the actual suit of the card is. And I like to do this by flicking. So as I flick this card and have the participant remember it, I actually see it for a microsecond. I see the lower left corner here for a microsecond, letting me know that it's a diamond. That's going to be important in a little bit. So here I'm going to do the tilt or the depth illusion, where I place that card apparently in the middle of the deck. Really, I'm placing it underneath the queens. So I could square that up while keeping my break. And now I mentioned to the participant that before I find a card, I need to warm up. How do I warm up? Well, using the queens. Now, you're more than welcome to, again, produce the queens however you want. I like doing the Siminoff flip it move. Now, I do it as I clap on the cards, which makes it seem like as I clap, the cards appear. I apologize for that. Now, at this point, the first queen that you need to vanish is going to be the queen that correlates to the actual suit of the card. So right now, the queen of diamonds, I notice that their card is a diamond, so therefore that card goes on top. Now, for the first queen, I like doing the Cardini color change. The reason for that is because it places this queen face down on the bottom of the deck. So that's the Cardini change. This is a very easy change to do if you spent a lot of time doing magic. So you're just using your fingers to bring this card up and around to the bottom of the deck as you twirl the deck. But if you put your hand in the middle like this, it looks like the card changes, right? You could have different ways to do this, like that, where you wave your hand. And of course, that card is completely gone. Really, it's on the bottom. The next queen is fairly simple. You spread and show that you have 3 queens. I'm getting a break underneath the participant's card. And as I square these cards up, I'm actually going to get a break on the participant's card. So this is a fairly difficult technique, but as I square these cards up, look what's happening. I'm actually lifting up so that now that break is actually a thumb break. So right now I have a thumb break below the actual queens and on the participant's card. The reason for that is because as I deal this first queen on top of the deck, I'm actually going to deposit that card on top of that card. You see what's happening here? Very sneaky. But I'm doing this as I'm counting the queens. So that's the first one. I deposit the card. As I grab this next queen using my thumb, and I place it underneath this one, supposedly with 3 cards. Really, I only have 2 cards. You see that? Kind of a deceptive way of making that next queen vanish. You just place it underneath. Apparently you're counting them, but really, look at that. I just have 2 queens here. Now, the next one is going to be a little bit strict because you're going to get a break underneath this card. You're going to do the paintbrush change, and it's very important that you don't do this, right? Because if you do this, then it's appearance. It's an appearance trick. You don't want that. So you're going to have to be tight here as you take this card and place it on top of the deck while holding on to these 2 cards as one. So right now I'm actually doing that classic sandwich load technique that you use to do a sandwich trick, but I'm using it to get 2 cards here, to get a double, ready for the paintbrush change. So now I could hold this queen here, and I'm just going to rub this one on top of the other one, but deposit that card underneath as I slide this one back. So instead of a color change, you actually get a disappearance. Now what's great about this is that this puts you in a perfect position to produce the participant's card. So all you need to do now is do whatever pass you want. You could do a classic pass, you could do a Herman pass, you could do a Robert Downey Jr. pass. You could snap your fingers and show that the queens have made a reappearance. Now, of course, because you were doofully noting the actual suit of the card, it's going to correlate to the card they picked. So you could take the queens out and go, wait a second, we have one queen that's the other way. Just so happens to be the diamond. You didn't pick a diamond, did you? What, does this one look familiar? And of course, now you've come full circle where you've used the queens to warm up to find their card. Oh yeah, that's a good trick. I think that's well worth $1 a month, right? My goodness, you guys get a bargain here. Consider checking out the other side. You guys are missing out. But that's a trick. Thank you guys for joining the piggybacker side of things. And it's a fun one. Definitely practice it. Consider adding it to your repertoire. As always, I hope to see you on the next lesson.